Get out of here.
Wait, this is my office.
It took you longer than it should have.
What's the funniest TV show of the year so far?
All right, looks like all the votes are in, and somehow no one got mollywopped.
In a minute, you can tell me your picks in the comments. But first, sit back, relax, and let's go through our 2023 Dream Emmy nominees for Best Comedy Series, starting with Abbott Elementary. In Season 2, Quinta Brunson's show only got better.
Ooh, it feels like a reunion show for an absolute mess of a housewife season in here.
We're talking zero sophomore slump, thanks to thoughtful but funny storylines like the introduction of Janine and Melissa's messy family dynamics,
Mom, that's right, baby.
and Barbara's school fire meltdown.
That is unfair and ridiculous!
Not to mention the delicious romance brewing between Janine and Gregory. That deserves an award all on its own.
It's a sleepover.
Yes, our first sleepover. Because neither of us has ever done a sleepover before.
With teachers.
And the kids.
Everyone.
And everyone's going to be
There's going to be a lot of
there,
people
so,
there. Yeah.
And yes, chef, Emmy voters need to embrace the bear.
That's being,
Confident?
cocky.
Crazy. Hulus Peak inside the kitchen of a humble Chicago sandwich shop was one of those shows that just snuck up out of nowhere. And we were so sad when our binge was done. Stuffed with dark humor, imperfect characters, and raw emotion.
12 French fries, 12 mash, now!
It was a delicious little treat that ranked as our #1 show of 2022. Meanwhile, prank comedy Jury Duty is one of the most unlikely Emmy contenders in years. An unsuspecting guy named Ronald was placed on a jury in a completely fictional court case where everyone was in on the joke but him.
I knew this was going to happen. I actually called out specifically what was going to happen. Plaintiff was going to make a closing statement, something crazy was going to happen, we adjourned for the day. Here we are.
How are you that psychic?
James Marsden had a ball playing himself as a spoiled actor/reluctant juror.
Obviously.
But there was a touch of sweetness here too, as Ronald and his fellow jurors became close pals in the courtroom trenches. Our verdict? The show was a delight.
The magnificent, the magical, the marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Okay, the final season was a little uneven, but that doesn't hide a simple truth. The marvelous Mrs. Maisel went out with a bang. Not only did season 5 produce some of the best episodes, like the hilarious and heartbreaking Susie roast.
Wow, over 30 years in the business, and this is who shows up to celebrate me. It's a real who's who or who gives a f.
But the Palladinos delivered the goods when it mattered the most.
That's why I need to get really famous. If you're really famous, everybody loves you. At least until the will is read.
Would you be mad if I went somewhere anti-gay for my honeymoon?
Hello, sweet sister.
Showbiz satire The Other Two has been funnier than ever in its current 3rd season, as Brooke made a half-hearted attempt at do-gooding.
I am proud to be a part of all these vital shows.
And Carrie's desire for fame became so much worse.
I want to be gay Albert Einstein and win an Oscar.
Plus, the series showed it can still surprise us by wading into dramatic waters that are just as effective as those non-stop punchlines.
6 of hearts. 10 of spades.
Everyone's fave, Natasha Lyonne, brought her raspy-voiced charm to throwback mystery Poker Face as an amateur detective who just knows when anybody is lying.
I didn't do it. I know you did, you mother.
The Mystery of the Week format allowed for lots of great guest stars, and director and EP Ryan Johnson established a cool retro style. But the key to its success was Lyonne's Charlie, whose sassy one-liners and keen eye for clues made her an unlikely but totally appealing hero.
You ever gamble? Because you can make a killing.
Nah.
Drama sizzled throughout Reservation Dogs' 2nd season as the kids worked through lingering pain after their friend's suicide. But even that couldn't stifle the comedy as we followed the crew's lives on the res.
Carry on, my wayward son. There will be peace when you are done.
Balancing its beating heart with loads of witty humor, the show continued to serve top-notch dialogue and beautifully bizarre storylines. And finally, who knew a show about a grieving, depressed therapist could be so funny?
Stop. You're doing sad face.
This is just face. I have resting dead wife face.
In Shrinking, Jason Segel shined as a widower struggling to keep it all together and parent his teenage daughter.
You know who the most important person in your life is?
You.
Your daughter.
Right, that's what I meant.
And the impeccable supporting cast, including Harrison Ford, Krista Miller, and Jessica Williams, landed beautifully executed quips and touching moments. Shrinking was poignant, funny, and showed that silver linings do exist even during our darkest days.
So what?
Yes, I know.
And there we have it. These are the shows that should be nominated for Best Comedy Series. But which one are you voting for? Let us know in the comments. For TVLine.com, I'm Claire Franken.